So you want to improve your game. I bet you're working on a lot of ball skills, close control, passing, dribbling, and shooting. But there's one skill that you're probably not as focused on that really separates the good players from the great ones, and that's 1v1 defending. So in this video, we're going to break down the defensive skills you need to defend against any attacker. And then we're going to give you 3 drills you can do to master the art of defending. And let me be clear, this video is not just for center backs and outside backs. No matter what position you play, you need to know how to defend. So let's get into it. Now let's go over 3 reasons why defending is so important and why you need to focus on being a great defender no matter what position you play. First, good defending helps you win games and trophies. You can't win if you can't stop the other team from scoring. Look at what happened to Barcelona in the Champions League semifinals. They scored 6 goals over 2 games against Inter Milan, which usually would be enough to advance to the final, but they gave up 7 goals. So instead of playing in the final, they're going to be watching it from home. Remember, if you can't stop the other team from scoring, you won't be able to consistently win games and trophies that your team is after.
And before we go on, if you want to become an all-around complete player, then after this video, you need to check out my playlist, where I break down all the skills you need to improve your game and give you drills you can do to master those skills. Now let's get back to the video.
Second, good defending will help your team score more goals. When your team has a solid defensive structure, it allows your team to attack more creatively because players are able to take more risks knowing that anytime they lose the ball, the other team is not going to come up the field and score. If you pay attention, you'll notice that the teams that play the best attacking football are also extremely strong defensively. Good defense not only stops the other team from scoring, but it helps you to play the creative attacking football that everyone wants to be a part of. And third, being a good defender helps you become a more complete player. As I said earlier, you don't need to be the fastest or strongest player to be a great defender. You just need good habits, good effort, and the right mindset. And remember, defending is for everybody. Midfielders, wingers, and strikers all have to help defend by pressing the opposing team's players if they lose the ball, tracking back to help out on defense, and helping to recover the ball, even if a teammate has lost it. So now that you know why defending is so important, let's go over the proper defensive stance you need to stop anybody from getting by you. You want your feet to be about shoulder width apart with one foot slightly in front of the other. You want to be low to the ground, almost as if you're sitting in a chair, so that you're able to go in any direction. Make sure you're not flat-footed and that your weight is not back on your heels, but that you're on your toes so that you're able to run in any direction no matter what happens. Now, a couple last tips. When an attacker is coming at you, make sure your eyes are on the ball so that they're not able to fake you out with different body movements. And lastly, but this is extremely important, never turn your back to an opposing player when they're coming at you with the ball. If they're coming at you and you're in your stance and they change direction, always change direction by opening your hips and keeping an eye on that player. Remember, once you turn your back to the opposing player, they have all of the advantage because you can no longer see what's going on. So now that we know how to get into the proper defensive stance, let's hop into some drills and work on mastering this technique.
In this first drill, we're practicing our defensive stance and changing direction. You and a partner should stand about 18 to 20 steps from each other. Player A should pass the ball to player B and then run up to them. Now, player A should get into their defensive stance when they're about 2 to 3 steps away. Player B will then dribble forward from side to side, allowing player A to practice being in their defensive stance, staying in front of and containing player B, and changing direction without turning around so that you keep player B in sight. Once you go about 20 yards, go in the opposite direction, with player A now dribbling the ball from side to side, and player B working on their defensive stance. A couple of things to pay attention to. Make sure you stay low and are able to quickly move from side to side in reaction to the other player's dribbling. Work on keeping the player with the ball in front of you at all times. And again, never turn your back on the player with the ball. This drill is the foundation for your defensive training, so make sure to focus and get your stance and change of direction right. In this second drill, we are building on the first one, so use the same setup. After player A passes the ball to player B and runs up into their defensive stance, player A is going to work on cutting off the space to either the right or left of player B and forcing the attacking player to dribble away from the middle of the field and towards one side. This is extremely important when you want to keep an attacker from getting to the middle of the field, where they'll have an easier shot on goal. Or if you want to force an attacker to their weak foot because you've seen that they cannot shoot well with both feet. What's really important here is finding the balance between cutting off the space but not getting too close so that you overcommit and allow the attacking player to run by you. So make sure you're about 3 steps away from the attacker so that if they try to accelerate, then you can beat them to the spot. As you get comfortable with this drill, try to poke the ball away from the attacking player as they're dribbling towards you. This will help you time your tackles so that you're able to win the ball without fouling. Now that you have the basics down, one of the best ways to work on your defending is by playing 1v1 against someone. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this third drill. Set up 2 goals about 20 to 25 steps apart, with each player in front of one goal. Player A will then pass the ball to player B and then try to keep them from scoring. Make sure to practice everything we went over in the first 2 drills. Getting into your stance, staying low, changing direction by opening your hips, forcing the attacker away from the goal, and either winning the ball or running them out of bounds. As you get better at this, you'll see that fewer players are able to get by you, and you'll really be a defensive wall on the pitch. And there you have it. Those are 3 simple drills that will help you master the art of defending. Make sure you check out our other videos and playlists to practice other skills and become a complete player. If you enjoyed this or any of our other content, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any other skills tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. This is Footy Made Easy, and we'll see you next time.